Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and in this video I want to share with you a very beautiful game which was played between Iranian chess grandmaster Parham Maghsoodloo and Russian chess grandmaster Maksim Chigaev. I have to tell you that this is a pretty fresh game and was played at 2019 FIDE World Cup. Maghsoodloo, who was playing with the white pieces, opened up with d4 and Chigaev responded with g6, e4, bishop g7, knight c3, d6, knight f3. Now it looks like that black is going for modern defense, and in here black's main responses are knight f6 or c6 or a6, but in our game we have a rare continuation which starts with e6, and after this move it becomes obvious that black is going for some hippopotamus type setups. By playing d6 and e6, black is freeing this e7 and d7 square for his knights. Bishop e2, knight d7, bishop f4, knight e7, queen d2. Now white wants to offer the exchange of dark squared bishops and weaken black's kingside. That's why black played h6. But now castling kingside is becoming problematic for black because all the time white can keep an eye on this h6 square. Here we have h4, with which white is preventing any possible advancement on the queen side, b6. Meanwhile, black is preparing to flank to his queen side bishop, bishop b7, rook d1, and a6. And there it goes, guys. We have this super solid hippopotamus setup. I have to tell you that nowadays at the highest level, this can be seen very rare, and usually the players are choosing this as an anti-computer strategy when playing against computers. This is what Hikaru Nakamura loves to play, both with black and white pieces, and if you remember, even Garry Kasparov played Hippo against Deep Blue. I guess that Maksim Chigaev chose this opening just as a surprise weapon in order to try his luck. Sometimes Boris Palsky also loved to rely on this opening. He even dared to play this against Tigran Petrosyan during a World Championship match. Now let's see how is Maghsoodloo going to play against this super solid formation. Rook e1. By the way, if you remember, Rashid Nejmetdinov also once faced hippopotamus setup, but he failed to break into pieces and his opponent Maximilian Witelki even managed to win the game. Queen b8 was played by Chigaev. He's going for a very strange queen maneuver. Honestly, I don't like it. e5, but black is keeping the position closed by playing d5, bishop f1 queen b8, knight e2, c5, c3, and this is starting to look more like a French defense. c4, the formation looks very similar, and black is locking up the queen side. Knight g3, queen c7, black is freeing the 8th rank in order to castle. Knight h2. Meanwhile, white is horsing around. Knight f5. In here we have the exchange of knights on f5, bishop e2, and black castles queen side. And now if we have a look at the position, we have a semi-open g-file, which black can use in order to build up his attack, and on the other hand, an idea which can allow white to go for a breakthrough starts with b3, which can allow white to launch an attack on the queen side. Now let's see how are the players going to build up their attacks. Rook g8, knight g3, queen d8, black queen is coming on the king side, and finally we have it, guys, b3, a powerful move with which white is sacrificing a pawn, but this is allowing white to open up the position. Black accepted the sacrificed pawn and c4. Though I have to tell you that according to the engine, playing rook b1 and then doubling up the rooks on the b file is even a better idea, but in our game we have c4. From a human perspective, the c4 actually looks very tempting. Bishop takes c4, king b8, black is moving away his king from the dangerous c file, and there it goes, we have d5. White's position looks very promising. Knight c5, queen e3, already d takes e6 is the threat, that's why black moved away his queen from the d file by munching the pawn on h4, but white doesn't need that pawn, you know. there it goes. This time we have a5, emphasizing the vulnerability of this knight on c5. Bishop f8, which steps into a beautiful tactical shot. Knight takes f5. The idea is that if e takes f5, then white can announce a discovered check and then play e takes f7. And you can't save this rook by playing a move like rook g7, because there is a back rank weakness and you can get checkmated. That's why after knight takes f5, black played queen g4, to which white responded with knight g3, b5, bishop e2, queen h4, and this time we have d6. I really like this pawn on d6, knight a4, and now by relying on this powerful pawn, white rook will penetrate the 7th rank. Rook g4. Meanwhile, black is trying to create some problems for white, but black's position is totally lost. Rook c7 is on the board. White is sacrificing a piece, after which we have rook c1. And now the threat is rook takes b7, followed by rook c7 check, and then queen a7 checkmate. Black tried to block the c file, but white simply munched it with his c rook. B takes c4, and after bishop f3, black resigned. If bishop takes f3, then queen a7 checkmate is coming, and actually after bishop f3, there is just no defense. Black king is defenseless and white is winning. Black king is actually in a mating net. A beautiful and destructive breakthrough which started with a pawn sacrifice, with which Parham Maghsoodloo broke into pieces the super solid Hippopotamus defense. Well, in the end, a chess puzzle for you, where the task is to find the winning line for white. It's white to move, and I will wait for your answers in the comment section. Thanks for watching. In the end, here are more suggestions for you. Feel free to check them out as well. I will see you in my next video. Take care.